Hey guys, welcome to the Rat Grind channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. There's a lot to discuss today. Today is episode 38. I wasn't able to record a video yesterday because I had some stuff to do with my kids. It's the last day of school today, so we had to prepare for that, and we had some stuff that we needed to do as a family. So today I just want to give you guys an update on the overall crypto market. I want to do a quick analysis of Ethereum, Bitcoin, and where I see them heading in the next couple of days, especially going towards the weekend. It's a very important time based on what I can see on the charts. So I'm gonna let you guys know about that, and I'm gonna give you guys some of the news that we missed yesterday. A couple of them, but mostly today, some big news that's happening all over the crypto space that I think could be a catalyst for for good times, right? So today is May 31st. First of all, if this is your first time in this particular channel, please do subscribe to the channel, support my efforts. Hit the notification bell if you haven't done so once you subscribe, so you are informed whenever I release new video content, right? And also please smash the likes. If you like the video, you like the information, if it gives you the value that you're looking for, please smash the likes. I'm also looking forward to getting your comments and feedback on the channel below. Let me know what I'm doing right, what you want me to improve on. I'm always open to feedback. Please do give me those feedback. All right, so again, we've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to get right to it, guys. All right. So the first thing that we want to be able to do is, the crypto market is remaining bullish as of right now, although there may be some small small hiccups that are turning red just over the past couple hours. Overall, the markets have been relatively green and relatively bullish, and Bitcoin, looking at the chart, is ready for a MACD bull convergence. So we're gonna watch out for that. I'm gonna let you know what I see on that particular chart. I'm looking at the day chart, and I think the 4-hour chart as well. Ethereum, the RSI, the relative strength index, is showing a bullish divergence that's happening. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out and how that affects the market and the price of Ethereum moving forward. So we're just getting ready, personally, for some buy confirmation so that I can be able to enter trade position on these particular from the market to take in some particular trades on the main coins, right? And there's a profitable day trade that I want to show you guys for a coin, FunFair, which is the first betting cryptocurrency out there that is relatively doing well. I'm going to show you how we could make some small day trades, just on the 5-minute chart whenever you see the opportunity, and then from there you'll be able to take those charts and make good gains on them. And I think looking at the charts, you can play this over the next couple days, right? You just have to watch the trades. As long as the trade presents itself, you can buy into it and then sell for small gains, and you could get 10, 20, 30, even 40% if you're able to do this consistently over the next couple of days. So I'm going to show you that particular chart. All right, so as far as some news, there's quite a bit of news that's been happening in the crypto space. Representative from the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, they say that the central banks really need to compete with crypto to stay relevant, right? Also, we found a news that says that Wall Street traders are quitting Wall Street when they, for crypto, when they've been able to make some gains from their day trades, right? And there's a big negative news today. South Korea seizes $1.4 million worth of Bitcoin, right? And the Chinese president calls blockchain a breakthrough technology. So that's really, really good news that more and more countries are getting back on it. As we know, there's a big ban, ICO ban in China itself. So I think maybe with this, with the president calling blockchain a breakthrough, that could signal a change in that market. And if they open up that market, man, fiat currency and investors will be flooding into the space that will cause the markets to pump up. We need more retail investors, like I've been saying over the last couple of videos. there was also a study done in Boston that the average ICO return for investors is about 82%. That's even considering some of the coins that don't do relatively well. So if you've been able to invest in the right coins, the average return is about 82%. That's humongous, guys. I mean, if you leave your money in the bank, you're lucky to earn even 1% over the span of a whole year. So that's definitely something that is great news. And another big news was Bittrex. We all know Bittrex is one of the one of the largest exchanges out there. They've agreed with a specific bank to allow US dollar trading on some certain cryptocurrencies. So we'll get on that. So we'll report on that particular news. And the last bit of news that I want to be able to show you guys is the Dutch government is saying that crypto is a low risk investment. All right, so let's get right on it, guys. Let's get started with the charts first of all. So as we can see, guys, if you can see the chart behind me, this is from Coin360, powered by Cointelegraph. You'll see that majority of the coins are currently in the green, right? This was a little bit earlier, but let's refresh this so that we can see it firsthand. Like I was telling you guys, it turned red just a couple minutes ago. So there was some pullback that's happened in the last couple of hours that has caused it to be red. But as you can see, basically we're maintaining the price from the last 24 hours. Ethereum is up 0.20%, less than a quarter of a percent. Bitcoin a little bit less than 0.5%. It's down, but I think that just happened the last couple of hours. So we're gonna look at that and see how that plays out in the charts, right? So let's look at CoinMarketCap, guys. So as you can see, CoinMarketCap, let's refresh this as well. Perfect. All right. So CoinMarketCap today, the market cap is $330 billion, right? And 24-hour volume is $15 billion, and Bitcoin dominance is still relatively high at 38.8%. So they are still the big daddy of all coins, right? They're holding a lot of weight compared to all the all the almost over 1,600 different cryptocurrencies, right? But if you can look at these charts, guys, you can see that that's very bullish signs, right? There's a channel that has formed there. It's almost like a wedge, right? Like a ascending triangle that's happening there. And we're gonna look at that chart. As you can see, I like looking at this because if we can get some more volume coming in here, this looks like it's gonna break through. As you can see, it's flattened out. The resistance has flattened out, and it's forming higher highs and lower highs. So that's a really good sign. And Ethereum is it's also the same. Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, EOS did a little bit of a retracement. I think it's just because the trade volume is low today. Like Binance, they've stopped trading EOS just because the mainnet is launching tomorrow, I believe. So that's going to be good news. So if you haven't done so, make sure the easiest way to trade your ERC tokens, ERC20 token versions of EOS, to trade them for the actual EOS coins. There's instructions online on how to do it. Make sure you are prepared for that. But the easiest way is just throw them on Binance, right? If you trade on Binance, just throw them on Binance and they'll do the technical trades, the technical conversions for you guys, so that they make it very easy. So that's what I'm doing, right? Litecoin is also doing relatively well. Like as you can see, it's also showing very bullish signs, right? Cardano is doing amazing right now. It's always it's been going up after the retracement, after the pullback in the last couple of weeks. It's giving us really good signs. Tron, although dipped dramatically today, it's been pumping up a lot in the last couple of weeks. Although a lot of the cryptocurrencies have been going down, it's been going up. So it's the one that's being affected right now of all this the activity. It's basically showing a lot of downturn right there. Neo is also going up. So there's a lot of good things that are happening overall in the market. Let's just So Binance coin is up almost 6%. Ontology 6%. Bitcoin private, we've been looking at this coin, has been relatively going up in the last couple weeks, even though the rest of the market is not. Nebulous is pretty good. They're looking at being the next Google of the blockchain space, right? So that's going to be good. Yeah, I mean, all of the coins are relatively, having good signs, even though they have a small, single digit pullbacks. That's still relatively good. I don't see any 10% pullbacks. I may have missed one or two. Yeah, I really don't see anything, guys. So that's really, really good sign. So we're gonna see how this plays out over the weekend. Like we always see, it always bounces, it always breaks down over the weekend. So we're gonna see, tomorrow is Friday here in the US, so we're gonna check out what happens, right? So let's get right onto the charts, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally changed my screen here. So let's check this out, right? As you can see, we're looking at Bitcoin chart at the, let me remove this out of the way. So we're looking at the 1 day chart on Bittrex, right? This is the 1 day chart, Bitcoin and dollar pairing. As you can see, I just drew these these lines out. Overall, since the bull run last December, I'm seeing a wedge, as you can see here, right? I drew out the wedge. And usually that's a sign, a bullish sign, that it can potentially break out if it goes through this channel. So let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see where the prices are heading right now. So as you can see, hold on just 1 second here. Let me just zoom in. So we're looking at the 1 hour chart. In the last couple days, so there was a big engulfing candle right here. There was a red candle that happened on the 30th, but yesterday and today it's already the 1st. The candle ended yesterday in green, so that's really, really good. But the bad thing about that is, there, as you can see, there's a long wick above. It's being rejected by the 8-day exponential moving average, the 8-day EMA line. And I have this, basically, we have the 8-day, we have the 13-day, we have the 21-day, 55-day, and as well as a 200-day EMA. So there's still a lot of bearish pushes, bearish resistance from all of the EMAs, right? All the way to 200 EMA. I skipped the 100 EMA because that's, I know, for the purposes of this, that's pretty irrelevant at this point, because it's not gonna hit that anyway. So what I'm looking for is, eventually for this to reverse, right? So when we can say that it's broken through this 8-day EMA, as you can see, it's breaking through it right now. If we can break through that today or tomorrow, and then it can climb relatively fast towards the 13-day EMA, it bounces down and it keeps that level of support. I know we've been looking at the 15-day EMA, but I wanted to get more EMAs in here, more lines, so that you could be able to see all the resistance, all the average resistance that it can have, that can turn to support in the next couple of days if it happens. So there was a good level of support here. As you can see, it bounced in that line a couple times, but right now it was getting some resistance here. But our trajectory right now is, we've also formed a channel. As you can see, I drew out this channel right here. If we can break through this channel, then we would be moving above the 21-day exponential moving average line. If we can bounce back there, that could be a potential trade, right? Potential buy opportunity, because we would have been able to break from this line right here. Let me just look at the MACD, right? So let's look at the MACD. The MACD is the moving average convergence divergence chart, right? So as you can see, it's almost going to cross over. When that crossovers, that's going to be a really, really good sign, because that's going to be a bullish convergence that happens. That's what I was That's what I was talking about earlier today. Earlier in the video, that we're looking for the MACD bull convergence to happen. But this has happened, guys, when it sort of touched right here. Let me draw this. I hope you guys can see this. Let me just make sure that you are able to see this. Let me get the brush out. So right here, as you can see, we want this blue line to be able to take over, go above and cross that red line. That's what we're looking for. And if we can look at the histogram here, as you can see, it's forming a reverse step ladder that's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So basically what this says is there's less and less sell resistance, right? So that's really, really good. When this hits right here, we can see that once this converges, this right here is going to form above this zero line right here. So this is the zero line, as you can see. Hope you can see that, guys, right here. Let me see. Look at my arrows right here. So as you can see, this right here, guys, is the zero line, right? There's a zero line right there where my cursor is right now. So as you can see, the same way that this happens right here, where right before it, converges up here, as you can see, there will be one last candle, one last column here, and we can see that column probably in the next, tomorrow or the next day. When that shows up, then that could be a good signal. We just needed to push through, just like it did here, because historically speaking, whenever it pushed through, as you can see, it goes on a, like right here, guys, if you can see this, if you can see it right here, I hope you guys can see this. All right, so see here, when that crossed, it goes on a bull. And let me show you guys how that looks on the chart itself, so you guys understand what I'm talking about. So as you can see, that's the last time it happened, and there was a pullback here. This was the drop. I do believe this was the last low that we experienced, and it consolidated, and when it broke through this particular resistance line right here, it went on a bull run, and that would have been a 40% or close to 41% increase, right, over almost a month period. So that could be a good potential sign. And as you can see, the RSI levels as well. Let's look at the RSI so you guys can see that. Wanted to show you guys. I drew this white line here. Hope you guys can see this. So there's some RSI resistance that I can see here, right? The reason I drew out this line, because I was looking at the chart. As we know, we're always looking for patterns, right? We're always looking for patterns and signals of reversal of what could happen. If you're shorting the market, I know how to short, but I don't want to do that because I'm mostly trading on Binance right now. I have a Poloniex account, but I've stopped trading there. I don't have a Bitfinex account. So the only other place that I could short would be a Poloniex, but right now that it's owned by Circle, I'm sort of pulling back, and I don't want to get into that yet. But once I'm ready, I'm gonna get back into that. But I want to show you guys here, right? So I drew out some lines here. So if you can see right here, so the last time there was some resistance that was happening here, and it was support, right? And as soon as it broke through that resistance right here, right, it went ahead and bounced, and it went up, right? It went on a bull run right there, this RSI. And again, that did the same thing right here. It went down right here, it bounced, it got rejected, and it pulled back really low, and then it bounced, and then it was able to bounce here relatively high, and then it went on a bull run, right? And again, that happened over here. So it bounced, it broke through this particular resistance line, and it went on a bull run. So historically, this has been happening, guys, right here. Another time. This was back in January, right? It happened here, it bounced, and it moved up. And this one over here, as you can see, it did the same thing. So, it's been happening throughout history, over the last 6 months or so, that whenever it breaks through that particular resistance line and it bounces, then that would be a sign that we could end up on a bull run, right? Even just a mini bull run. That's what we were looking for. If we can break through this line, if the MACD converges up and this resistance creates a bullish divergence here, then we could be able to potentially see it climbing this in the next, in June, right? So we just need the catalyst. We just need a volume breakage so that it can do that, guys. I just want to show you how significant that is, right? I'm not sure if the arrows will show. Okay, right here, right? Let me shorten this. Okay, I want to show you guys how significant this is, right? So when it broke through this last time right here, the RSI level, when it was really oversold, right? It went up, it bounced, it broke through this particular resistance line. This is on the 41 line. What happened was, as you can see, it was historical, right? Let me just see right here. Let me just close this up. So it went on that massive bull run right here, right? And on a shorter time frame, when that happened here, it happened here, as you can see. It also went on a mini bull run. It happened again over here. It went on a mini bull run. It happened here on this. I hope you guys are seeing this. Let me move my cursor a little bit. As you can see, it happened here, and also it went on a bull run. I just hope you guys can see that, right? It happened there, went on a mini bull run, and now it's there again. It's forming a resistance. It bounced there today. I mean, the earlier this week, and then it's gonna try to pull out of that zone. And if that happens, as you can see, the volume is relatively low. If you can see here, the volume is low. So even without the volume, this is what we want to look for. We don't have the volume, but we are forming higher highs, right? As you can see, we're on the green candle. And if it can get some confirmation, if somebody decides to buy that up over the weekend, that's going to be a catalyst for a massive pump, right? Just like what happened here. So it was, as you can see, it was relatively low, and then it hit its stride, and there was a massive volume that happened on this day, and that created a catalyst for it to go on a bull run right there. So that's what we want to be able to see. But if we get that same momentum up, we're going to break through all of these lines, guys. If we break through this wedge pattern right here, let me shrink this screen right here. So we're looking at the 1-day chart. If we break through that, I'm going to be layering my buys all the way up until it breaks through that. Where majority of my position will be outside of this wedge. And I wanted to bounce up and then bounce down. And I want to see these EMAs to flip. So we're going to see how that all works out. So there's very, very good signs right now for Bitcoin, and the prospects of it in the next couple of days. So we're going to check that out. We're going to keep watching on it. So look at Ethereum, guys, and it's also similar. That's what we're looking for. As we can see, there was a bounce on this particular line. This was on the $492 line, and it's gone back up to about, right now it's trading about a 550, right? 577. Oh, it opened on that's about 550 right now. So we want to see more of that, but it's currently being rejected by the 8 EMA, right? But it's already, the 200 EMA has already gone below the 55 EMA. So that's already a good sign. We just need to break through all of this, and then we will be we would experience the same things. Let's look at the MACD. So as we can see, it's still far from converging here, but as you can see, this line is already pointing up. So it might meet around this area right here. I'm gonna draw. So it might meet around this area. This could go down here, and this could, hit up there. And as we can see, the resistance is also, slowly going down. We're gonna have to watch how that plays out in the next couple of days, because a lot of people are dumping their Ethereum right now because of the fact that they're selling it for, for other things, right? Like EOS. They're going to be converting all their coins to EOS, and then of course they're going to sell off their Ethereum positions. We're going to see how that's going to pan out. As you can see for Ethereum, it didn't hit quite the oversold levels like it did last time when it went on a mini bull run there. So this may still go down, guys. We're gonna have to see, because right here it did this was like a triple top, right? If this bounces down, if this rejects, right, if this heads down, we could be forming a bearish divergence here, as you can see that line, right? So that's not what we want to see happen, but it can happen. But we needed to break through that that formation, so we could be able to see higher highs and lower highs, right? So we're gonna keep watching on this particular chart in the next couple of days. I'll report on it tomorrow, Saturday, and see how that all tomorrow's Friday, I'm sorry about that, how that all plays out tomorrow, and we're gonna see how it all turns out, guys. All right, so let's go to the news, guys. All right, the first bit of news that I want to be able to share with you guys is, like I told you guys, the IMF, they are saying that the central banks need to compete with crypto. So the deputy director for the International Monetary Fund says that crypto assets may one day reduce demand for central bank money. He's arguing that the central banks may want to consider adopting some concepts in order to inevitably stall, their decline, right? So that's really, that's bad news for central banks. But if it's the IMF that's talking about this, guys, that's really, really big bullish information, bullish signs for cryptocurrencies in general. So that's really a great thing for us to be able to look at and see how that all plays out. This is the other news that I was reading on Bloomberg. Normally Bloomberg, it's free for a couple of days and then you run out, but I was already able to read this particular article. This was yesterday evening, actually, but I wasn't able to share it with you guys. But they were saying that traders in Wall Street, millennials specifically, who are making money trading digital assets or crypto, once they're able to learn and trade in crypto, they're more inclined to stay in crypto and move away from Wall Street altogether. So that's good news, because that means that there is more traditional investors from Wall Street that are coming into our space to be able to take advantage of the different gains that they can make here in the crypto markets. But the bad thing, I wouldn't say bad thing, but I think something to watch out for that is these people, because they're so used to trading, right? They're gonna be bringing in their shorting strategies, their margin strategies and all that stuff, and they may bring in more of their high frequency trading bots and algorithms that usually, if you look at the markets right now, you can tell, when I'm looking at some of the order books, you can see that it doesn't seem like a human being can place those orders. Basically, they're like split second orders that are basically layering on top of each other just to prevent people from bidding above them, so that they keep the price down or they keep the price up. And also, I've seen where big positions are entered, and as soon as that wall is created, you see all the people just removing their orders, and that gets removed right away. So that seems to be a algorithm that's doing that. So we gotta see how that happens, but how that all plays out. But it's something that just we need to really keep our attention towards, right? We can't lose sight of these things, because a lot of us are not professional traders. I'm not a professional day trader. I just learned in crypto and I've been applying. I've been studying a lot. I've just learned from people that have come before me, and I've been reading a lot of books in the traditional trading market, and sort of applying those same concepts here. Although it seems like in cryptocurrencies, everything seems to be moving at a exponentially faster rate than it is for the traditional markets, because it's such a new field. So I think that's why. But we need to be able to be mindful of those things so that we are not left in the dust, right? Because when professionals come in, we're gonna look like amateurs, guys. I know there's a lot of you guys that trade professionally. Some of the guys that I watch on YouTube, learn from as well. Man, they're really pros, right? And I'm not one of those. I'm very basic. I'm very conservative. I'm still learning. I'm applying every single strategy, which I'm going to share with you guys today as well. I'm going to share you the FunFair trading a little bit after all of these news, so that you can understand where I'm coming from, and that's something I'm going to be playing in the next couple of days. The next bit of news that I wanted to share with you guys is from CoinDesk. Korea seizes Bitcoin worth $1.4 million. So, following a Supreme Court ruling, right? So, they're moving to confiscate about, this is 191 Bitcoin, because it's related to a child porn cybercrime case. So that's sad. Child porn, that's just horrible. And I'm glad that they're being prosecuted, and all their currencies being taken away. But just watch out, because those 200 Bitcoins are going to be dumped on the market somehow. So just keep a watchful eye on that. Hopefully that does not affect us a lot. But as in if they're selling it at market price, then somebody's just gonna buy that up and move the price up again. So we're gonna see how that pans out. But just keep an eye on it. And this was a little bit delayed. This was yesterday's news, but I wasn't able to report on it. I was reading on this on CNBC yesterday, and I just kept the bookmark so I can relay this information to you guys today. The Chinese president Xi Jinping calls blockchain a breakthrough technology, and he said this. I'm going to quote: a new generation of technology represented by artificial intelligence, quantum information, mobile communication, Internet of Things, and blockchain is accelerating breakthrough applications. That's what he was saying, according, that was a translation of his remarks, right? So that's really, really good news. I know that there's a ban on crypto in China. I mean, all the big trading exchanges have left China, moved to Hong Kong, Singapore, and now Malta, some other Caribbean countries and stuff like that, because of some just there's not enough clarity in the market for them to know exactly what they're going to be doing, right? But if their president, who was just elected, by the way, guys, he was just reelected as their president for the next couple of years, if he's saying that he sees blockchain as a breakthrough, and then there's a lot of Chinese projects out there, guys, so that's really, really good news. I mean, they banned crypto in September for ICOs. So maybe this would be a sign for them to open up those books and open up the opportunities again to their citizens, and that's going to bring in a lot of money back into the markets. The people that had to find loopholes to be able to invest in cryptocurrencies are now going to legally be able to do so. And I'm sure a lot of people just kind of forget, I'm not going to deal with it, right? Especially there's a lot of regulatory confusion here in the United States about it. I've been reading a lot of articles on my LinkedIn and the groups that I'm involved in that are saying that they're looking at leaving the US. They're moving to other countries, right, that are more crypto friendly. They're trying to avoid the IRS primarily. So that's something that we just have to keep an eye on. And I was reading this today. There was a new report done that suggests that the average ICO investor sees about 82% return. So that's really, really good news. And I was able to download the actual report here. It was from Boston College. Hugo Benedetti and Leonardo Kostovetsky, right? Hugo Benedetti and Leonard Kostovetsky from Boston College did a study. They say digital tulips return to investors in initial coin offering. And it says right here, the representative ICO investors earns 82%, even after inputting returns of negative 100 to ICOs that don't list their tokens on major exchanges within 60 days. So that's really, really good news. Check this news out. Just Google this. Just look it up on Cointelegraph. Look for this particular news. It was published 9 hours ago by Marie Juliette. New report suggests average ICO investor sees 82% profit, and you could be able to get the report right here and read up on it. It's really interesting, guys. It's about a 60-page report. It goes into very detail about their study. It's quite fascinating. So, I encourage you guys to check that out. All right. So the other bit of news I want to be able to share with you guys is again from Cointelegraph. The Dutch government is saying that low capitalization and institutional exposure make crypto low risk. Right. So that's, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's risky to put your money in Bitcoin and in Ethereum and all these cryptocurrencies because you don't know what's going to happen. I think we know what's going to happen, guys. I mean, we're just, a lot of people are just in denial, saying that cryptocurrencies are, just are going to go away. You have these billionaires that don't really understand the technology, that they never even really used it, right? I mean, it's insane. I mean, a lot of the institutionals are getting into it, like we always talk about in this channel. We read the news, we see what's going on. But there's still a lot of naysayers, right, that think that Bitcoin is just going to disappear. I believe not, right? I mean, don't invest because I'm saying so. This is not financial advice, like I always say on this channel. Don't take this as financial advice, but it's just in my opinion, that it's not going to go away. It's here. I mean, if the IMF is saying that the central banks need to get their act together to make sure that they're relevant, and that says a lot about cryptocurrencies and blockchain in general, right? So that's going to be, that's very interesting that the Dutch government is reporting on that. On the report, they predict that crypto-related risk will increase with more interaction with government financial institutions. They also say that cryptocurrencies are not money substitutes, claiming that users generally prefer to hold their crypto instead of using it as an everyday payment method. So I think that's still the problem, right? I think there will be, because it's a new asset class, right? I mean, we understand that the current asset classes that we have, for example, your home, gold, you don't really use this for day-to-day transactions, right? You don't go out to your grocery and pay with your gold. Or you take an equity of your home, if you have any, and you go in and trade that for food. That doesn't really happen, guys. So I think, in my opinion, that there will be certain cryptocurrencies that will be holders of value, where they're mostly considered money, right? Like digital gold. So like Bitcoin and all that. Ethereum, on the other hand, is more utility. There's a utility use for it because you need Ether to power the Ethereum network. So that's a little bit different. Bitcoin Cash, of course, is going to act like a store of value. Something like Ripple, for example, they're being used by institutions to transfer money relatively quick. There was a news a couple of days ago, I think that was last week, where Ashton Kutcher, in partnership with Ripple, donated, I forgot, I think, was it like 4 million or 14 million? It may have been 14 million to Ellen DeGeneres' show for her wildlife fund. So that's really good. But there's a lot of coins that are made for fast transaction that can scale, like Zilliqa, for example. It's a blockchain that allows you to do all these amazing things. Like there's like these DAG coins. There's sharding that's going to happen. But I think as the cryptocurrencies improve, then you'll see some of them act as payments to be used in payment methods, but not all of them. So I think instead of looking at it as crypto as one asset class, within crypto itself, there will be subclasses within it. Some a store of value, some for transactions. Imagine coupons, right? Books. All of these things can be written in smart contracts, tokenized, but and traded, but not used as a currency, not used as form of digital exchange. So we're gonna be seeing this thing pan out and mature, and we're gonna see the use cases of it increase, right? So the last bit of news that I want to be able to share with you guys was Bittrex gets a bank agreement to help you buy Bitcoin. Not necessarily us, traditional, but right now it's for corporate buyers. They partner with Signature Bank. There was a news on NASDAQ that I was reading. They say that Seattle-based cryptocurrency exchange Bittrex has established a formal agreement with Signature Bank in New York to allow corporate clients in specific states to purchase virtual tokens using US dollars, right? So it's only right now for corporate clients in specific states. It's not open for everybody, but I'm sure once that opens up, then the floodgates will open. If Signature Bank finds success in this, there's a lot of banks like the Citigroup, for example. They don't allow you to use your credit cards, use your banks. They cancel your transactions and whatnot. But if Signature can successfully show that, hey, this is a good move, then we can see the other banks opening up their floodgates, opening up their pocketbooks to be able to allow these trading to happen, right? So that's something that we gotta watch out for. But I think Bittrex is gonna be that's really, really good news for Bittrex itself. Unfortunately, not for us yet, not for me, because I'm not a corporate client of Signature Bank, but eventually that will happen. I know Binance, I heard a couple months ago that they are looking into being able to offer USD pairing like Bitfinex, right? So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how that pans out, right? So that's the last bit of news. So I just want to go back into the charts. I want to show you this particular day trade opportunity that I'm playing right now. Again, please don't copy these trades. I just want to show them to you as an example of what I look at, what I see value in, and what I see trading opportunities in. But don't make this trade just to copy my trade. This is not financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so please just take this as entertainment, maybe as a inspiration to see what to look for in your own trades, right? So I just wanted to give that fair warning, because I don't want you to get into this coin and message me and get mad at me saying that you lost all your money because you copied my trade. So please don't do that. I just want to show you the opportunities that I've been seeing, right? So this FunFair Ethereum on Binance, let's see here. I'm going to move this to the 5-minute chart. So as you can see, this has been a relatively good coin to make a play on, right? We've been looking at those convergence, right? So whenever we have that bullish convergence right here, that seems to show up as a good trading opportunity, right? So let's check this out. If you bought in that at that time right here, when it ticked up, make a play around this candle, you could have made let me see here. I'll just show you guys this so that you could get some perspective. Oops, sorry about that. All right, I'm using multiple screens, so I'm trying to play because I'm looking at the streaming right here in front of me, looking at you guys, and I'm trading on the right side. So I just wanted to show you this to you guys. Look at the time frames here, guys. So if you had bought in right here at this particular MACD, where the RSI, as you can see, the RSI is showing a bullish divergence right there. Hope you guys can see this. I want to set this up correctly for you guys so you guys can see what I'm seeing here. So as you can see, this is forming higher highs, right? Going towards the oversold levels, right? And it went down. If this would have been a good short position right here, if you short, right? So that's for that particular chart. I just want to show you the setup. And then here, there was a convergence right there, where the blue line went above the red line, and that's a sign that it's going to go for a bullish trajectory. As you can see, also the histogram has been, the steps, you know, flipped up to the positive side, right above the 1. And to show you guys, see, if you went into that trade, that was right here, that's when that switched. So you would have not been able, you would have seen this, and you would have seen that you could have anticipated it if you were good enough, but it doesn't always cross over, guys. It doesn't always cross over. So for me, I would wait for the next candle, for the next 5-minute candle, and that would have been here. So I would have bought right here, and that would have been a 2, and sold right over here. That would have been a 2%. That's within 50 minutes. That's about an hour that was able to occur. So that's a trading opportunity, right? And that happened again earlier right here. That happened again right here. I hope you guys can see this. So if you you bought a trade here, as you can see, you could have sold on the high right here, right before that. You would have anticipated right here. Hope you guys can see this. You would have anticipated that it's going down now, and it was losing steam on the histogram right here. See, it was going down, so you would have been able to sell there. That would be a 1.92%, right, over a 2-hour 15-minute period. And again, going back, you could find the same thing. We want to buy it when it's below the 0 line, right? We want to buy on the negative side. Although there's some crossovers right here, I don't buy on those signs. I mean, you could have said, oh, you could have bought here, sold there. You could have made, yeah, but I would not have seen that, because as you can see, you can say that because you're looking at this in hindsight. But when you see these, it's like this, guys. You don't know what's going to happen next. But when I was looking at it on this side, you could see that when this happens right here, see right here, there was a consolidation that happened around here. So you would have been able to purchase it. You know, you could have been even purchased it right here. It would have gone down a little bit more, but you could have still been able to ride that wave up, right? So let's check that out. So if you had bought in here, because that's personally what would have happened to me, right? I would have saw this, and I would have probably bought over here, and I would be like, I took the wrong trade. But then again, you know, you just have to stick to it. You have to understand that this plays out. You know, as long as you make the right calls at the right times, this works out. And if you bought here, you would have bought in this candle, right? On this red candle, right? That's where you flip. You could have waited and sold right over here. That would have been a 1.89 if you were lucky. You would have sold. You could have sold here, but I probably would not. I would have sold around here when I saw this particular line about to converge. Right. That's what I would have done, because I would have looked at the histogram and I saw it was flattening out. I would have waited for it to start trickling down, and then I would have made that sell. So it's been, I mean, that's the first time I traded, guys. So, you know, that was today. That was really early in the morning. I got up really early to take that trade. But, you know, I was just playing that all day. You know, every time I had a break, you know, I made those trades. So, but it had that opportunity over the last couple of days, guys. This is a very volatile chart, right? FunFair. Because one thing that you have to understand, that the FunFair token can be used for betting. So there's a lot of utility to it. So even if you just gain like 1%, 2%, 3%, that's really good, because you're talking about, you know, like minutes or a couple hours. So if you did like, you know, like a couple trades a day, you could have earned 10% plus. I'm going to play this over the weekend, so watch out on it, guys. That's why I wanted to share with you guys and study this. Look at those indicators that I'm telling you about. I'm just looking at the MACD, right? That's all I'm looking at right now to be able to make those trades. I'm not even looking at other indicators. So if you can do the same thing, like right now, if you look at it, Right now it's about, what time is it? It's about almost midnight, a minute before midnight here Pacific time. If you look at this, it's quite far, right? So I can see this, it's probably gonna go all the way up here, and then you're gonna see it, you know, taper, and then you're gonna see it start descent, like, you know, diverging there, and then this thing is gonna meet down here and it's gonna pop back up. And when that happens, that's again an opportunity for you to be able to get in on this particular trade. So right now, as you can see, it's selling off, it's gonna drop. There's not a lot of volume that's happening, but as you can see, you know, people buy it up. People just buy it up, guys. So that's definitely a play that you could be able to do. Now I'm looking at the 5-minute chart. If you look at the 1-hour chart, it's as crazy as well, right? I mean, but the thing is, it's a little bit harder because those divergences don't happen as often. If you're just doing a day trade, then, you know, if you want to swing trade, you could do that as well. I mean, if you bought this, if you bought it over here, like as you can see, it tacked here. I would have still kept my position because it's still under right here. It hasn't converged above here. You would have gotten this candle right here. That would have been a 3%. You know, if you would have swung that, that would be a 19-hour. 3% in a day, that's not bad, guys. That's really, really good. Imagine, just remember that in your banks, you probably don't get 1% in an entire year, if that. So I just wanted to alert you on that particular trading opportunity. I think that's gonna be a good trade over the next couple of days, although you have to be very, very careful. You have to look at the RSI. You have to look at the day. The reason I see this, because as you can see, when you look at the day candle, it's still relatively oversold on the RSI. That's why I see opportunity in it, because I can see it still going up, right? So we just have to watch out what happens there. As you can see in the last couple over the day, like, it's never really gotten oversold, guys. Every time it goes close to 30, it's gone up. So historically speaking, and we're looking at since 2017 here. So with that in mind, I can see opportunity in this particular coin. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you found some value in that particular in this particular video and that particular trade. I hope you make a lot of money on it, but please look for those opportunities in other coins as well. You know, just look at the RSI, get on those 5-minute charts, and see if it's diverging up. And if it's diverging up but it's crossing over on the negative side and you see a red candle, that's a sign of reversal. So if you short, you can do the opposite, right? When it converges on the top, on the positive side, when you see that trajecting down and the RSI you can see is oversold and it's going to traject down, that could be a sign that there's some confluence in the market that will tell you either it's going to go down or go up. And you can make small percentages. I know you might be saying like, oh, I'm here to make millions of dollars, right? I guess you're right, but I'm not. Eventually I will get there, but I like those small gains. You know, if you haven't done so, maybe I haven't talked about it relatively enough. Go to compounddaily.com, guys. Punch in $200, $200, and put 365 days. If you earned 1%, like 2% for 365 days, 1% a day, 2% a day, or you could do multiple trades in a day, right? Cut that. But 365 times your $200 could potentially become close to $50,000 because of consistency. Small percentage gains that you do will get you there eventually, right? So just scale that in your mind, see how that plays out for you guys. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Again, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you. Please do smash the likes. Please do give me your feedback, guys. I would really, really appreciate it, and I hope that you find value in this video. All right, until I see you guys tomorrow on the next video, I wish you and your family a success-filled day. Good night, guys. I love you.